We
Awesome.
are starting.
Well, you guys are here for a reason. This man needs no introduction, so why bother, right? But no, I will bother because he's worthy. He is the drummer of a band called It Looks Like a Black Hole. Their album is called A Ghost in Your Blood. Um, he has been on a couple times. He's a good friend of Ryan's. He's a friend of mine. He's a first time reader. People at home, please quietly applaud for a first time reader named Todd. Did you like that? My
Ooh,
poem?
that was excellent. Here he
Thank
comes.
you.
What?
Oh, see, he's reading it. The determination of this young man is
Here I
undaunting.
am.
It's inspiring.
Gentlemen,
Hello.
I just finished Winter Night.
Okay, yes. Well,
And-
what a coincidence. We're here to talk to you about it. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
I'm super pumped. I'm excited. It's action packed. I'm also extremely nervous for Mr. Tamil Thor. Man, I'm on the edge of my seat. Because I know that, going back to George R.R. Martin, I know that he was influenced by Robert Jordan. And, George R.R. Martin didn't treat characters too well, especially beloved characters. And I'm like,
go on. I'm sorry.
so I'm just like, oh my gosh, is this going to be like, is this where George R.R. Martin got his chops for just, being ruthless to beloved characters? I don't know.
The most noble, honorable man in town, the guy who everyone wants to be.
I mean,
George R. Martin, you're right, would get rid of him before the end of the book for sure, right?
right. But anyway,
What you're telling us, the stakes are high. You're feeling the stakes. That's how, yeah, you're feeling the stakes.
extremely high, just on the edge, man. But at the same time, I'm super excited for this all the action that's happening because of Robert Jordan's just masterful storytelling. He's so detailed, and he just builds the details, and then when action does happen, it's so meaningful and like so intense. So that's what I was
the
just
outdoor
really excited.
the farm, him doing all the chores, them doing all these things, like just the farm itself, like the inside of the house. There's a lot of details there, and yeah, you're right. And suddenly, all of it gets smashed by Trollocs.
Yeah, it's like they're about to sit down for this wonderful stew that Tam's prepared, and Rand's just going over all the details of the house, and it's yeah, and then the door's blown off by Trollocs, and the lock's spinning on the floor. It's like amazing,
Right.
so amazing.
And before that, though, it seems like the coolest little bachelor pad.
Totally.
Like everyone has their own little reading nook.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always a nice fire.
But like
There's
way roomier
stew.
than you want it to be. I imagine it's pretty hard to clean. There's a lot of space in that place.
And very uncommon for the Two Rivers, I hear, for two men to be living alone together.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Right.
Or
Right.
Yeah, that is
Right.
a
It was. Go ahead.
No, that's good. Good pick up on that detail. Yeah,
Mhm.
and we think we mentioned it in a recap that it kind of has a kind of lonely feel if you think about how there's just two people and they make several mentions to how place is big enough for generations of families and the
right.
table fits 12, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Very awesome. And going back to just Rand,
Mm-hmm.
His observations of the farm. I love it. Just in the beginning of the chapter, he's just going over, how the long winter is affecting all of the farm's chores. The milk of the cows is going to come, or it's drying up or something. They can't plant the crops yet because the ground's too hard, I guess. And He's just so observant. He's like the Two Rivers climatologist. He just sees like how this weather change has like affected
Right.
Love it.
The hens don't give very many eggs. I mean, he's hoeing. They're doing like every chore imaginable. He's out there hoeing the vegetable garden. I would think that under normal circumstances, that could probably wait until the day after Beltane. I mean, the weeds aren't suddenly going to be super crazy, but yeah, but he has him doing chores, and Rand, for his to his credit, is probably like the coolest young man, late teen, early 20 guy. All Tam has to say is like, hey buddy, we live on a farm, you know what we got to do. And he's like, yeah, okay. And he just goes and does his stuff.
It's like, okay, Dad.
Yeah, fine. He's like, and Matt's all, getting all the food and honey cakes that he can eat, and Perrin's getting all the food and honey cakes he can eat, and Rand's stuck on the farm cutting wood and doing all this stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really love that, just deep detail, just Rand's observations and his character development in this chapter is amazing. Just his arc, his pattern has like changed now with the attack of the Trollocs. He was like this simple bucolic farm boy, and now he's just thrust into this like world of just magic and adventure and Trollocs and sword fights, and I love it. I'm super pumped.
That were just stories. I mean, seriously, it's like if someone said that the abominable snowman is going to come to your house, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, Coughlin talk, right? But I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but then it happens, and then there was like 12 abominable snowmen all trying to kill your dad.
Totally. And Tam is such like a master. It appears he's a master swordsman. I mean, he takes out like 4 or 5 Trollocs.
He does have some skills for sure.
So that like brings up a lot of
Man, what do you think of that?
Of questions. It's like, I think Rand is kind of taken aback. He's like, whoa, my dad's a badass. Like, he's kind of like, and then he's like taking him out, and he's like, run.
I mean, you missed it.
Like total,
you missed,
like,
go ahead.
Yeah, and and he's jumping out of windows. Like.
Yeah, I do a dramatic reenactment of this in our recap.
Oh, nice.
I do a slow-mo of Tam Althor jumping through the window in a very dramatic Tom Cruise kind of style.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You have no idea. It was very beautiful, Todd.
I can't wait.
Matrix level special effects we're talking about.
It was top.
Let's take a break and look at the chat real quick. We got a bunch of people watching. This is fun. Let's say hi to Tree. Let's say hi to Dana Lou. Let's say hi to Watt Fandom. Unraveling the Pattern. Just going through. Dean Moxley. Hello, my friend.
Hi, guys.
Hello to all.
We got some great questions coming in. We'll get to the questions in a little bit. I just wanted to acknowledge that we have our friends with us, and several of them are saying hello. And someone wants to say, nice shirt. And are we talking to Todd? I believe. Oh, okay. Yes. I thought you were saying nice shirt for me, but
no, dude.
Because I am doing a change today. I am going no tie.
Is that that chest hair?
Yeah. Did you notice? You can notice.
So yeah, it's.
You never know what's underneath the shirt, guys.
Yeah.
I think
that's the big question. Ryan thinks the big question is whatever he's thinking of the chapter. It's actually what's under the shirt, Ryan.
What's under the red silk shirt?
No, that's polyester. Come on.
Oh, that's poly. Yeah.
Rayon. I'm not sure. Rayon.
You know, I'm putting the night back into winter. Hey guys.
You do with that lighting, you look really suave.
That's what
Really,
I'm going
really.
for.
Yeah, no, you're hitting him, man.
Well,
I mean, like 10
Daniel
out of
Green,
10.
I'm going for the Daniel Green lighting. He's got the dark, and then in the back, he's got some nice colored lights over there. So I think I'm the next Daniel Green.
It's very, yes, very, very, very sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one question from the chat right now.
Okay.
Our first question was,
Bring it on.
I'm getting lost.
Bring it, bring
This
it.
is from
Bring it.
Dana Lewin. She says, why does the Murdraw want to talk to Rand?
That is an awesome question. By the way, I was wondering how that was pronounced. I thought it was like Mydraw, so Middraw.
Open for
Midra?
debate. I say Murdraw. You say my draw.
Let's call the whole thing off.
You know, I'm really intrigued by the middraws, or I guess they're fades too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Called fades. I don't know, but I
We hear
guess
both names. We hear the word fade and we hear Murdraw. Yeah, for sure.
so. It seems like they control the Trollocs. So I guess they're like a conduit for the Dark One or the whatever power, the dark power that's behind all of the Trollocs. They're extremely frightening. I mean, the way he talks about them, they could go when they turn sideways, they disappear, and they have eyes of fire, and they're 20 foot tall or something like that. Yeah, it's like frightening. But that's why I think he wants to talk to Rand. Somehow he's like a conduit to the Dark One, or
So you think the Dark One himself wants to kind of have a chat with Rand?
yes,
Okay.
that would be my answer.
Okay. Well, let's just take a little break because we lost Dan. This is
Oh, that's right. He's in the middle of a storm. We hear
he is having
in
what they
Michigan.
call a weather event in Michigan, and several of our friends on Discord are from Michigan. So it's affecting several of them, but we forge ahead.
Carry on like the two river folk.
Yeah. Which yeah, what do you think? That's a good pull. Like the two river folks, like Master Luhan says, even when he's totally exhausted and he just rallies himself and he goes, "Man, if the light's not going to save us, we're going to carry on anyways." That's what we do. We're two rivers folk, and he goes, "Ah!" And he just like runs back. He's like, "I got work to do."
Right.
Yeah, it shows that that's more than just a slogan. It's like it's almost like a rallying cry. It's a belief.
Yep. They picked themselves right up. Just like Tam was talking about, I guess.
All right, so we have another question. Oh, here my music comes. This is great. Great. All right. So the next question we have on our chat here is, what made Tam think to... Oh, look at that.
Brother Dan's back.
We are having what's called a weather event, and there's crazy lightning going on, and I'm trying not to drop away, but gosh, thanks for being patient, guys.
Oh, it was doing great. Well, thanks for coming back. It's fixed. We're all back. Are we looking at each other? Looks great.
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What made Tam think to check the well? Is that normal for a farmer or a sheep herder?
That was a very interesting point in that chapter right there.
I like that question.
It makes, he's checking the well in case maybe it was poisoned or something. So, Tam's got to have some history. That just reveals so much about him, I think. He has like some war or like soldiering history.
Mm-hmm.
Or who knows? Yeah, some secret agent. Like, I don't know, man, special ops.
So do you think he checked the well just because he's overly cautious, or do you think he checks the well because there's something very specific might be going on with the well?
Oh, interesting. That's, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, there may be something that comes up that they do to well. I mean, later on in the chapters or in the book somewhere, is that like a thing they do to wells? They put like some potions in them or mind altering substances.
Oh my!
I don't know.
Oh,
Wow.
But I just assumed.
awesome.
I just assumed it was like poison. You know, he just wanted to make sure.
Right.
And he
right.
says something too about like how you know, he just can't look at anything the same anymore. I think after all of this in that chapter, like when he's walking around the farm, and
Yeah.
so that says a lot right there. It's like his warrior sense is like kicked in or something. So now he's in survival mode, and everything is suspect. Everything and anything is suspect, basically.
Well, and this chapter also starts with us seeing this really cool, idyllic farm, and by the end of it, it is in ruins. It's destroyed. It's defiled. It smells worse
Sheep
than
dead, all their livestock dead.
Right.
Bella, apparently Bella is nowhere to be seen.
You're right. Bella's gone. The cow's gone.
Like,
there's dead sheep.
Yeah. Carnage.
Yeah. So we're seeing really just kind of Rand's whole existence kind of within like 10 minutes be completely shattered, like literally shattered.
Broken. Even his bow, right?
Even his bow, right?
He like goes back to the house. That's a harrowing moment, of course, and leads up to something so amazing. I mean, yeah, he finds his bow broken, and I just think that says a lot.
Well, let's talk about that moment. What you just said it leads up to. You're talking about Narg, right?
Narg.
Okay, this leads up to one of the questions, okay?
Beautiful.
All right, one of the questions is, was it luck? And this is from Dana Lou. Was it luck that made Rand get Tam's sword up in time to kill Narg?
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, I think he says something about that. Or wait, does he? I can't remember.
He does. Rand says
right at the end of the chapter, he's like,
I guess I did get the sword up in time, kind of thing.
But who knows? Yeah. At first I was like, wow, is it luck or is it some innate like warrior sense that he has in him and he doesn't even see it yet? So I don't know. I'm really intrigued to see where that leads, and just great question though.
All right. Well, if you were a betting man, what would you say? Pick a side.
I would say
Todd's a total betting man.
I would say it's like some innate, awesome ninja warrior sense that he has in him that's been dormant, you know, for all of his life. And that's I'm a betting man on that for sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, and that's a very good point. I mean, Rand is a shepherd. He sits there and protects sheeps. Ooh.
Sheeps.
Ooh. Well, we got a break. I want to point out Dan.
I can't hear. Hold on.
All right. We'll get back to that. Thanks for pointing out that we're not looking at the camera. Apparently everything's backwards now than the way we've been recording. So I'm going to look this way, and I think that fixes it. Thank you, everybody. So Dan, you got to look backwards, but he won't be able to hear me for a second. Oh, man, this is fun, guys.
I love it. This is technical difficulties abound. You see just how hard this is.
For sure. No. Yeah. And these guys, and we have very, very patient friends. They talk amongst yourselves.
Totally.
Oh, Tree, yes, the art does change. You didn't catch it.
How does it do that, Ryan? How does your art change?
Actually, okay. Now that we're in a weird pause, this is called an electronic objects digital arts whatever, and it's I got it on a Kickstarter a long time ago. I think they sell them now, but they're way more expensive now. So yeah, it just basically it's on a 15-minute loop. The only limitation is I have to get the prints that are like kind of skinny and tall, but if they fit like that, then it's perfect. All right, Dan, can you hear us?
I can now. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, and
So yeah, I was getting a weird just buzz, and so I had to adjust. I apologize, guys.
okay, yeah, no, I hear you. And Dan, so we learned also we got to actually look the opposite way of what we're used to. Everything's backwards now.
This way?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, look towards your tree. Look towards the tree, and I'm gonna look towards my art print screen.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for the feedback, guys.
You guys are above me.
And I'll
But we still get to lord over this man, which is still fun.
I do feel like Odin up here. Todd.
Brother Don.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, we definitely got some Bella loves going on in the chat. Poor Bella for sure. You guys are the best. These are the most disciplined, non-spoiler chat people I've ever seen. I've not found one spoiler let. You guys are amazing.
You guys are awesome. Oh, and by the way, a tree hugger, when you hug a tree, being part of the way of the leaf, we feel it. We feel it all the way up to the leaves. We feel it all the way down to the root. It's everywhere.
The love.
The love.
The love is felt.
Let's get back at it.
Yeah. So any other thoughts or questions about Narg that you have or want to talk about?
What do you think about him talking?
I think that's interesting because it seems like the other Trollocs that were in the house were speaking in harsh language that Rand didn't understand. And then all of a sudden, like Narg is speaking in plain English. So I guess that's different. I don't know.
Well, Narg's smart.
Narg's smart. Yeah, he's smart. And he also, it's really interesting, like because Rand picks up on a tidbit about the Midral wanting to talk to him. So now he knows there's like a Midral. So maybe Narg isn't so smart, I guess. He's letting out too much. I don't know.
Right. He thought that would be like the selling point. Come on with me. Well, let's go talk to the Myrddraal.
Yeah.
Come on, it'll be cool. Come on.
Wait, remind me, does Rand actually drop the sword, or does he just move as if he's putting the sword down, and then is it kind of like a fake out? Does he drop the sword and then pick it up real fast, or is he going down to drop?
He says, he's like, okay, I'll talk. Like
and
totally
puts it to a side, and then boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
exactly.
Wait.
I'm coming at you, Dan.
Wait. Slow mo, please.
I'm Narg.
Okay, I'll go.
That's exactly how I pictured it.
And then you die on top of me, and I'm just like, get off of me, gee.
You're a lot.
Oh God, you're so.
Just a smelly dead Trolloc.
I don't think I would have gotten out from underneath that guy. I think I would have just kind of been. I kept pushing. Oh, get off me! Oh, I would have just died of attrition.
Well, I know that weighted blankets are kind of a thing now for anxiety, for certain like.
There you go.
That may have been one of the first weighted blankets. If he was not in such a state of fear, maybe it was kind of comfortable under big old Narg.
All the chainmail. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the chainmail. No, that wouldn't be good then.
Yeah, 10. That's an extra. What? How many pounds do you imagine? That goes down to their knees, correct? How many pounds?
When I look at my notes, tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands of pounds. Okay.
Yep, that's what I've heard. Chainmail, Trolloc chainmail is like the
Tens
heaviest.
of thousands. Yeah, tons. Let's see what else. What else did you want to talk about with this
Tree
chapter?
says Narg makes a good blanket.
Yeah.
There you go.
A Narg snuggie.
A Narg comforter.
There you go.
Yeah, and and then
Smelly.
obviously, Dana Lou says Trollocs must smell the worst. I also imagine the innards of a Trolloc must smell worse than the outwards of a Trolloc. What do you think?
I think so. I would bet on that. I would bet on that for sure.
But the impression I was getting when I was reading it was that there was defilement going on. There was more than just dead innards. It seemed like they had maybe defecated or
there was
right. It seemed like there was like malicious destruction of property. Besides, I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to get to Tam Althor. Maybe they were just trying to get to him and had to tear out every drawer in the bureau or just tear off all like the chairs to break them and stuff. Maybe that's just how they roll. But it seemed like they had just kind of pooped on things. I mean,
yeah, there was something about markings on the walls or something like that,
right? Yeah.
Or was that just Trolloc blood from Tam Althor?
I mean, just the magnitude of that fight alone, you hear it from so many angles. From the inside, you see Tam take out two at the door, Rand at the back, and so many times you're just hearing just the sounds of steel on steel.
Yeah, sword clash.
And then you get to see literally him chasing or leading a dozen Trollocs away.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And instead of running away, he's like, "Oh no, I'm going back in." Yeah. And Tim Rand's all, "Hey, no, Dad, I'm over here." And he's like, "Well, keep going that way, but go that way. But keep going that way, but really go that way."
Dude, masterful.
Thank you. That was yeah. Are my eyebrows okay? Are they in line? Okay. All right.
They're looking good, man.
Yeah, so are you, Todd.
Do you oil your eyebrows? If you don't, you should think about it. Because I oil my beard. I don't know if you.
Well, I tend to just lick and stick.
Oh. All natural. I like that, dude.
Yeah, baby.
Lick and stick.
I mean, will I say that I have never tried a moose or two in there? No, I can't say that. But yeah, for the most part, boom. Bah. It's easy. It's easy to look like me.
Are there any grooming questions in the audience? We'll answer your grooming questions.
Totally.
Oh, okay. No, we got a fact-based question. I'm going to go through this.
Okay.
From Dean Moxley.
Hello,
Andre
Dean.
the Giant was 7'4" and 420 pounds. I think he's being loose with that. Oh, 430 pounds? All right. 30. Trollocs, being 10 feet tall, would probably weigh around 550 and 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe an extra 125 to 175 in armor. That is a heavy blanket.
Dude.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's my point. If that guy landed on me, I'm doomed. I'm just lying there going, I wished I did my push-ups.
Yeah, that's like that's like an entire bear on you, I guess.
But nothing,
wearing armor.
But nothing for Rand. He's chopped enough wood to just throw that Trolloc off him, dude. I mean, Rand is pretty buffed, right? I mean, the way he's described in the book, isn't he
I mean, I feel like they really emphasize Perrin as being buff, and then Rand as maybe
Oh,
having more sinewy, kind of tall lankiness. I think he's more tall and lanky. But
that's
what is
right.
that?
Well,
What does the Gleeman say? His shoulders are what, like a
an axe handle length
an
long
axe
or
handle
something.
length.
Oh,
What
that's
is
right.
that? Like, what's an
But
axe handle length? Is that longer than a normal shoulder, or is
well,
that
yeah,
shorter?
that's like, yeah, for sure, for
I
sure.
wonder
That's right.
what does the chat say? Is an axe handle length
But
longer than the normal human shoulder, or is it shorter than the normal human shoulder?
Ryan, if I can kind of to defend Rand's strength, if I can, so his bow I think is about like it's bigger than he is, and he's pretty much the tallest dude in town. And Tam Althor, Tam Althor is pretty much the only other guy who's able to like completely pull this thing back. So you got to
That's
figure
right.
that Rand's got he's got some shoulders, maybe not parent shoulders, maybe, but no,
He's cut.
huge.
He's cut. I think he's
Yeah.
cut and really tall and like, but kind of skinny too, I guess. I don't know.
But they also, I mean, these are not like Rand and Tam bows. These are two river bows. These are typical. These are what everyone uses.
Nope.
Oh.
It does state specifically.
Oh no!
that-
Get a fact beat down.
Oh.
hit the music.
Fact beat down.
So no,
right.
it does state in the chapters before that that Tam Althor is pretty much the only other guy in the district that can fully pull Rand's bow when they were walking down the quarry road.
I think I remember that.
Hey,
Yeah.
and we have a chat now. I mean, someone tell Ryan he's wrong, would you? Come on, back me up.
Take down.
Oh,
No.
wait, here's my Mick Jagger. Oh, won't you back me up? Oh, won't you back me up? I'll never stop. Thank you.
Don't make a grown man cry.
Oh,
Make
dear.
it go, man, cry.
All right, so yeah, Dana Lou's pointing out that the bow is 7 feet tall.
Word.
Okay.
Bam.
All right, so do we think Rand is buff, or do we think he's not? I mean, like, what do we think?
Just
How
chiseled.
do we?
He's
how do we
chiseled.
justify, guys in the chat, everyone? How do we justify Rand getting out from underneath Narg? If we have a Narg blanket, how are we getting out from underneath that?
I think Rand's benching about 220, 225. You know, when you're laying on the ground, you have your feet under you. Yeah, I could do it. I could do it for sure. Yeah, I can do it.
And we have to factor in he was just chopping wood and doing chores,
Yes.
which I had originally thought that Tam was doing a great idea that let's get this guy's mind off of everything and get him to work. But then I thought later on, what if that backfired and his arms are tired? If I was doing that work, I would would not be able to kill the Narg. I'd be like, oh, I wish I didn't do the axing.
He's like, the sword's too heavy. Oh.
And he didn't eat dinner.
And he didn't eat dinner. You're right.
He didn't get that awesome stew that Tam prepared, which I was really bummed about. I hate seeing food go to waste like that. Like in movies when people get up and leave like, plates of food, and like I hate that.
Okay, so we got some answers.
Anyways,
we have some answers to the question. One is that, Tree says, how do you get out from underneath the Narg? Lots of shimmying. So Dan, give me a shimmy, Dan. How do we get out of a Narg? Right. You're lying there.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's easier than it looks.
No, yeah, no. And then, shimmying and adrenaline. Dean Moxley says, shrimp out.
Shrimp out. Wait, okay.
I know. Translation, man. Oh, Dan Lou says Dan is right. I just think she's just blankly saying you're just right, and I think that's great. I don't think it's specific. Just Dan is right. AK Dan is right. Ryan's wrong. Let's move on.
Ryan, can you
There you
print can you print this out for me? And every time we have a little discussion, I'll just be like, well, here.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
D Moxie says Rand had country strong. Tree says it was
Country strong.
Dude, country strong.
Uh-huh.
Totally.
a tree says it was honey cake power.
Oh, there you go.
I think this is Mandarv. Confirm if Scott is Mandarv. Mandarv. Scott says that he threw the hot water on the Trollocs face. LOL.
Oh,
And Dana Lou points out that Rand does physical labor all day.
all day. And it's a long winter, so he's been chopping way more wood than usual. Right?
No.
Oh, that's gosh, that's yeah, you're right. You're
Oh,
right.
okay.
So he's extra buffed.
Okay, no,
Todd,
I think
ladies
it's
and
working
gentlemen,
out.
Todd.
That's it.
I love it.
I think it's working out. Also, I was wondering if somehow, because Tam and Rand, if they're using these extra big bows, does saying the void of the flame help them somehow access some strength in a way to be able to use it?
Man.
Because I don't really see them pointing out how Rand is like strong. They never talk about him. I mean, later on, I think after he trains with the sword a lot, I think they start mentioning he's got some muscles. But I don't think right now they're really emphasizing him being strong, not pick up Narg and get out. But anyway,
gosh.
so yeah,
So-
maybe
so-
no? Like maybe.
Oh, I just
So
had
he's-
this image. I'm sorry. I just had an image of Rand with Narg on his shoulders and doing like chicken fights. Like when you're like pick up Narg and he's like, come on, guys. And he's like riding on top of Rand. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm a derail king. I'm sorry. Go. 3,
Okay.
2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1. Dana Lou points out, yes, you are right about the bow, Dan. So what you're saying about the bow, you're right about.
You see me flexing.
Okay. No, I love this. This chat's amazing. We're learning something all the time. Dean Moxie's pointing out when he said shrimp out. I thought he was ordering a dish. He was explaining that's how wrestlers and MMA fighters get out from under an opponent.
Oh,
All right, so they
Interesting.
shrimp out.
they shrimp out. Okay.
All right.
Dude, learn something new
I
every
want more
dude.
details. I still can't imagine. I still think it might have something to do with food.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, shit. That's great. All right. What other questions we got?
I think we are, and I think we're moving on. I think we have enough questions for this, and this has been a long enough for this episode, guys. We are gonna.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, please.
I have one question actually. Okay, there's something. Okay, going back to when Rand was observing the inside of their thatched bachelor pad, he's looking at Tam's books, and he names one, and then there's a wood-bound book he talks about. He sees like what's that all about? And I can't wait to find out what that's about. Do you remember that?
Nope.
There's something about he sees like a wood-bound book.
Okay.
And I was like,
awesome.
why would you just bring that up? And he doesn't say like what's on the title or anything, unless I don't know. Maybe someone will comment on that.
Okay,
Anyways,
No, we have one more question. You're right, Dana Lou. Thank you. I'm just multitasking. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. We have one more question, and this is actually a really important question. Why do you think Tam's wound was severe when it seems to be so small?
Great question.
that is awesome.
These are the best questions, honestly.
Yeah, thank you. We suck. We need you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and then the follow-up question is, why is it so bad so fast?
Right. That's awesome. Okay. This is my take on it. Being, I go back to the Lord of the Rings. I think about Lord of the Rings. And when Frodo is stabbed with that blade from the ring wraith, I think it's like some Trolloc thing. They have like a blade that's like some poison blade or something. or some magical blade that like will inflict like some just fatal wound with just like a nick, you know. That's my take. That's what I think. But I was very interested in that. Yeah, I was like, whoa, what? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great take. These are great questions, guys. Any more before we wrap up, and then we're going to move on to our next episode. We're going to try and get in our next episode. We're going to do 2 chapters. We're going to go to chapter 6 and then chapter 7. But do we have any questions for Winter Night before we wrap up? There's kind of like a delay when we talk here, so it's interesting how this works.
Hey Todd, so have you ever done any farm work? Like, what have you ever had to like collect eggs or milk a cow or any of that stuff?
Never done it.
I never have either.
I'm totally, yeah. I'm just unexperienced when it comes to any farming. I might have went to like some field trip on a farm and like
I have a friend who gives me...
I maybe grabbed a cow's teat and tried to milk. I don't know.
What?
No, you know, they do that with like field trips. Like, I don't know. No,
Okay.
I have no experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Farm
yeah.
eggs
Farming.
are much better than store eggs. Oh, hands down. I have a friend who gives me some farm eggs sometimes from his little chickens.
Oh, they're always awesome. Yeah.
Oh, holy cow. Oh, it's like 100 times better.
Totally.
So, you know.
All right, let's jump back into the show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey Todd,
Yes.
did you happen to prepare any your favorite quote and your favorite moment
For Winter Night.
for
Yes.
Winter Night? Yes.
Just the moment when, you know, they're sitting down to where Tam and Rand are sitting down to have that stew. And I just love it. Should I read it?
Oh, please.
Ham softly placed the stew-filled bowls on the table. Slowly, he moved away from the table. Both of his hands rested on his sword hilt. I don't think, he began, and the door burst open, pieces of the iron lock spinning across the floor. So cinematic. Love it.
Yeah.
And I guess he was responding to Rand asking, because they heard the knock on the door, and he thinks it's like one of their neighbors. And I guess Tam's like, I don't think. And then, bam!
Well, even then we get a little like it's probably that shameless borrow over a neighbor.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, just another provincial like, oh, this can't be happening. It must be
it's probably that neighbor, our jerk, who always borrows our stuff.
Well,
Go ahead, Ray.
I mean,
Totally.
a big point that I've just noticed, even when you're in that sentence or in that quote you just read, is that Tam had both hands on his sword.
Oh yeah, on his hilt, man.
On his hilt, he was ready.
You know, and right before that, the line says,
Dude, totally. Oh yeah.
he
Oh,
says
sorry.
he had a lot of questions to ask once they had settled at the table. And I would have loved to have heard that conversation of,
So
you
much.
know, what were those questions? So where'd you get that crazy sword? No, tell me more about that sword.
And why are you looking at it so longingly and grimacing at it?
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you have such mixed feelings about this thing?
Now it's like I'm freaked out because I don't know if Tam's gonna make it. Like I don't know if he's gonna be able to ask those freaking questions. I'm like, so
Right,
like,
it
I'm
does
on
have
the edge of my seat. Damn it! It's like
it does have like a Ned Stark, Jon Snow. Boy, we'll talk about your mother next time we meet.
I'll explain everything.
Yeah. We're still waiting. Yeah.
That's a good point. All right, one more question. Is there people are asking for predictions? Todd, what are your predictions so far?
For the whole book or
Yeah,
the series?
Well, we have the events that we've seen,
So-
and then like, what does it make you think is Does it change anything of your perceptions?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have to speak just about this book. It's too heavy of a question to think about like all the rest of the books, but just it reveals so much about, I think, Tam and about the possibilities inside Rand. And yeah, I think there's a lot to way more to Rand than meets the eye. And we're going to see a lot of just very awesome stuff with
Rand former.
that. Totally.
More than meets the eye.
Rand Farmer? Were you
That's
saying?
I said Rand former.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, guys, we're gonna be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are wrapping up our first time reader chat. This has been a great episode. Thank you so much, Todd.
Oh, awesome to be here. Thank you for all the questions. People out there.
Do you want to plug anything?
In the interwebs? Yeah, I guess right now we are listening to one of my songs from the band I'm in. It Looks Like a Black Hole. And it's a very interesting song title. It's Has Everything We See Happened in the Past?
Nice.
Cool,
Thought it'd be
cool,
before.
Oh, like a wheel.
All right,
Hey,
everybody. We will be back next week with another first time reader chat. Next week, everybody, if you're following along, we're doing 2 chapters. And from here on out, we're going to do 2 chapters at a clip. Next week, we're going to do chapter 6 and chapter 7, followed by chapter 8 and 9. And that's how we're going to go. If we end up doing more than 2, we might end up doing 3 just because we might want to hurry it up a little bit to catch up with the Amazon television show, but we will let everyone know in advance.
Indeed.
This has been our first time reader chat. Let's say goodbye to Todd.
All right, y'all.
And thanks everyone who participated. This was fun. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Awesome questions.
And
Bye, Todd.
All right, bye, boys.
Get out of here, you filthy animal. Yeah.
And we're dancing. And we're dancing.
And we dance, and we dance, and we dance.
All right.
And I'm out there.
Okay, so that's episode 1, guys. This is amazing. We have 11 people. I'm having so much fun.
Awesome.
Well, we're gonna
Ryan, you balanced that well. That was you were like on the wheels of steel. You were DJ Fly. You were awesome. You're like, and we got a request from Dana, and we got
Totally, dude.
so cool.
Well, I'm only reading the positive stuff. You guys they're just ripping us to pieces on this thing. Jesus, learn how to talk, people. What's going on? Blah 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 blah.
Did you tell him that my fly? I can't fix it. The fly's just broken.
Did you tell him that I'm like five beers under, so I'm having trouble. with my
we're all
speech.
good.
You're doing great. Yeah,
You're doing great. By the way, Todd.
You're doing
How do I-
great.
yes.
How do I sound?
Chapter 6 and 7 questions, please start loading them up.
I'm gonna use the restroom real fast.
And I need to change arms.
I gotta-
change arms.
I'm gonna change my shirt too.
Yes. Oh yeah, good call. Like I said, we don't have the music, so I'm gonna put that in later. So Dan, you just when you're ready, just start introducing Todd, and I'll bring him in.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Guys, this is our favorite segment that we have been going on. This is a recurring guest of ours. He's a friend of ours for a long time. I think he's becoming a friend of some of yours now. He is in a band called It Looks Like a Black Hole. It's all one word. It's all lowercase letters. Their album is Ghosts in Your Blood. Ladies and gentlemen, in your homes, please quietly applaud for our first time reader named Todd. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that until I come up with something better. Oh, and he's reading. Oh God.
That's why we're being quiet.
Wait.
All right.
Dear loud.
All right. All right,
Okay.
did you finish? Okay. Todd, yay!
I'm back.
I missed you. I missed you, buddy. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
It's been so long.
It's been a while.
Don't.
Too long.
Too long, for sure. Too long. I just want to point out that the Way of Leaf is very concerned about noise pollution. So when we say clap quietly in your homes, we don't want you to bother anybody.
No. Be
But
cognizant.
if you're in a situation where you can clap loudly, go for it. We're not restricting you. We just want you to be aware of your surroundings, not like some people I'm pointing to behind me. We'll get to that later.
Oh.
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 Todd.
Jinx.
Todd.
Yes.
Todd.
Man, brother Dan.
My man,
Brother
we're doing 2 chapters today. Are you how you feeling? You
I'm, so these 2 chapters, they're really short, but like so much happens and it's so intense and there's so much revealed. And so, yeah, I'm feeling super pumped still. And I'm excited and also still frightened and just on the edge of my seat for Tam, man, because like,
well, let's take
I
this
don't know.
like 1 chapter at a time. So we have Rand taking Tam into the village. Tam starts muttering some kind of fever dream. Have you ever been so sick that you are like starting to mutter stuff?
Ever. Yeah, I've heard about it. Fever dreams are crazy.
So yeah, he does say a few kind of crazy things there.
Yeah, some very, very intriguing stuff. Revealing and just kind of teasing, his past. I'm just totally drawn in. And the way that Robert Jordan's is telling it, I guess that third person kind of, it's the histories are told through, the character speaking, it's like, I love it. It's awesome.
But then we add the layer of a fever dream.
Yes. Which,
we're already dealing with unreliable kind of narrator issues, and then we have a fever dream. So how much weight can we put into any of this?
exactly. So, yeah, I don't know what to think. Are these hallucinations? Are they? Yeah.
Well, let's go down. Let's go down like a little logical thought process here. Imagine it's just literal word for word true. If you take it as face value, what can you extrapolate from that? What are you thinking is happening? If you listen to everything Tam says, what are we dealing with here?
Tam was definitely in a war or a warrior or a sword fighter and in battle with Trollocs, and he was definitely in a more fluent city, one of the bigger cities, not the Two Rivers, no like bucolic backwoods place. He was like living large in what is it, Tarvalon?
Mm-hmm.
So he has like a very adventurous and storied past, I think. Right. If we take it all for face value.
Right. Do you have anything else that you want to mention about Tam during this little trip to the village?
Well, here we got a question.
Yeah.
Dana Lou asks, how did Rand know that the mirror draw was coming back a second time on the road?
Oh, right. That scene is it's so intense.
It is.
He stares at it and he's like, I can't lose sight of it. And he thinks he's just so focused and so like in the moment, and he enters like some survivalist like warrior mode, and like he's looking down the path and then he sees it coming back, I guess.
Well, and the line is actually a pretty cool line. It starts the paragraph. This time the horse made no sound at all.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. No hoof sounds. His cloak isn't blowing. The trees are all blowing. Like the imagery is amazing.
Well, the
And-
first time it had the horse with like a bunch of, like, he counted at least 20 Trollocs,
Right.
being pretty disciplined, marching as if they were one. Plonk, 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 plonk. I don't generally think of Trollocs like in my head. I just think of them being kind of animalistic and kind of wild. But they're marching down this road like they're the finest soldiers in the land. It's kind of impressive.
And then right? Is that?
I'm sorry. Say that again
so.
for me.
Start over.
Oh, the Mydraw comes
lost you.
comes back the second time by itself without the Trollocs.
Correct. Yeah.
And there's one scene in it that really makes me think that Rand has something. And it's when I think he passes like right by him, and he like looks his way, but he still doesn't see him. So when I read that, I was like, well, okay, so Rand has like some cloaking device, some like inner like cloaking device or something. I don't know. That was like pretty. Yeah. That's a heavy like scene, I think, and I was
certain they're gonna get caught.
Yeah,
and he did even feel the hatred again.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's intense. He feels the hatred, and he's like, I know this entity hates all and despises like all. It's like so heavy.
And then it suddenly takes off, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 bolts. Yeah.
Well, then no, it doesn't go back, and then it comes back like racing by him.
Yeah, and heading towards, where was it heading towards?
Towards the farm.
The farm, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And which is what Narg said. Others come back. You talk Myrddraal. They were all scheduled, I think, to all hit the farm, and they just figured that they would have these.
So the Myrddraal got the signal, and he's like, "Oh, gotta go."
Right. So what kind of Myrddraal can't be the best boss. So he shows up, he's riding his crazy mystery horse and shows up, and there's just dead people, and he's going to take this out on his minions, right?
Oh yeah. He's like, you Trollocs, man. He's like, which one was it? Was it Narg? No.
Yeah, everyone blamed Narg. He's dead. Yeah, it was totally Narg. Gosh, yeah, stupid Narg. He said he was smart. He was stupid. Right, everyone, right? Oh.
Anyways, yeah.
All right, so back to Tam's fever dream. We got a question in the chat. Goes like this, and this is from Dana Lou. Dana Lou, who does Tam mean? Or what does Tam mean when he says they come over the dragon wall?
Yes, I wrote that down on my notes. I can't wait to find out. I don't know what the dragon wall is. I mean, I know
notes.
I assume it's a part of some city that he was in or like protecting, or there's a battle. And then he mentioned something about the shining walls. I just I have no idea what that is. And I just assumed that it was part of some city he was protecting, or he was a fighter with like some, soldiers from the city with the dragon wall. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And Trollocs came over the dragon wall. And then he brings up the thing about Laman's sin.
Uh-huh.
With the Avenders or the Avendesora. Apparently that's a tree of life, apparently, or something. And that's really interesting. So yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't wait to find out what it is.
Right. And to keep with your point, so you mentioned this tree of life. According to Rand, there was only one of these, and it belonged to the Green Man.
Green Man, like, I love it.
So, what are your thoughts of that?
I mean, he's like some eco warrior that protects like all living
I am Green
plants.
Man.
Or, I mean, going back, I mean, it might be like a homage to the Ents of Lord of the Rings. That's what I was picturing.
Oh,
Like Green Man is like some entity like that. Maybe that's Robert Jordan's like kind of tip of the hat to that. So I don't know.
that's really cool.
So, let me ask
Can't
one more
wait to
thing.
find out what the Green Man is.
To continue this point, in the next paragraph, he said, next he might actually meet the Green Man or an Ogier giant or
Yes.
a wild black veiled Aiel man. We've heard the term black veiled Aiel man,
Yes.
and it was kind of a slur in the two, or at least in
that
Emmons
was the
Field.
needle scratching moment. Was like,
All right. Oh no.
He
don't
and
say
then
said
it
that.
goes,
what?
oh, he's mad.
Yeah.
He's just mad. He's just mad. He's just
Yeah,
mad.
yeah.
Hey,
Come on,
no,
come
no,
on.
it's okay.
No, yeah, no,
He didn't
come
mean
on.
it. He didn't mean it.
He didn't mean it. Yeah,
But yeah, so now we hear it again, and it's yeah.
And that, yeah, it's all these things, all these stories that he's heard are coming true. So I guess he's going to meet all these on his adventure. It's all going to come at him. All this, it's so awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. Anything else? Any other questions about this chapter, Ryan? Before we
Oh
move
yeah,
on?
we the chats are filling up.
Oh gosh.
All
Yes.
right, so
Yeah.
we got more questions about Tam's fever dream. One question is, what do you think might be true, or what do you think is true?
Definitely the shoot. You know, he's talking to somebody about how they underestimated the foe or who they're fighting, and he seems really upset. He's like, those fools. They thought they could just win. You know, like, and
Nice.
I think that's probably true because he seems like really upset about that. It's like he tried to talk him out of it. And like, no, you have to be, you know, throw everything you got at him. Yeah, I don't know. I think that part's true. And then of course, I mean, it goes on to, he's talking to, I guess he's imagining that he's talking to Kari, his wife.
Oh,
And I suppose that's real. There's parts of that. I think that's real. And of course, that brings up the whole thing about, I mean, this is the huge thing that's dropped in this chapter is he finds this baby. Like, it's like after a battle, and it's so intense. And there's like this dying woman, or she already died but gave birth and left this child. So I don't know. I'm assuming that's real.
and then, but yeah, Rand doesn't seem to.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
struggling
He
with
doesn't-
that.
Yeah, he's struggling with that. He's like, no, he's my dad. Like, it's so heavy.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
for real.
I mean,
And also, Dana Lou asks, what did you think about Tam's ramblings about the field of Marath, carpeted with dead, and the topless towers of Karhian burning?
just so just wanting to know like what that is. You know,
Did you look
I
at the
mean,
map at all?
you know what? I didn't. I was
Okay,
gonna
no,
look
it's
at
good.
that. I was gonna look at that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta look up all these. I gotta look up Dragon Wall. I gotta look up Shining Walls. But I think they're just places that Tam has been, and he was a part of battles there, and there were really important sites, and I can't wait to learn more about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got a question. And
Sure.
I asked this to Dan earlier. Do you think Tam was being truthful when he said he'd never seen a Trolloc before?
That was really interesting. I think he has, and he was just kind of saying, yeah, I guess he was kind of protecting him. I just didn't want to go there. And yeah, he lied to him, I guess.
Well, they were, in my opinion, they were prey at that moment. They were sneaking. He's like, those are Trollocs, boys. I've never seen one, but I've talked to people that have. Why would he throw in a lie when they're all scared and
Right.
being quiet? Like, to me, that it seems like if you're gonna be truthful at all, it's right then when you're like, all right, this is everything I know. If we're gonna say a lie, this is everything I know. I don't know why he would just throw in that weird little lie.
That is, yeah, that's unusual to do that at that point in time, for sure. Like,
so that's
But-
my only contention, but it does seem like he does react with such ninja skills, and he knows right away the Trollocs and how to handle them. So whether he's seen them or not, I tend to think that he wasn't lying right then, but I think he is a liar.
But I mean, for him to, but I'm going to challenge
For the
that.
best
For him to be
intention.
honest, I'm sorry. For him to be honest, he'd have to spill the beans about so many things. Like, how would he justify having seen a Trolloc? Rand doesn't know anything. Rand doesn't know that he's been, Rand doesn't think anyone in the Two Rivers has seen warfare, and all of a sudden in this guy's fever dream, he is vividly detailing certain things. So, it's like, why would he say, I know what these are? Because he'd have to explain a lot of other stuff.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, go ahead, Todd.
He's still protecting him. I think it's just it's just his fatherly thing going on, and he just wants to protect him, and he knows maybe like what he is. I don't know.
So in the chat, I just want to point out we do have a noted dark friend. So a one Petra.
Bring it.
We have a dark friend, and I do want to point out that of all the bad guy names, Dark Friend is one of the weakest you could actually come up with. I actually, if the show changes that name, I think it might benefit, because Dark Friend sounds so meh.
I wouldn't mind being in a band.
Peter? You like that?
I wouldn't mind being in a band called Dark Friend, because it's
That
dark.
is
It's dark, but you're a friend. I mean,
totally.
Also,
yeah. If it was like Dark Mean Dude, then yeah, you're like, I don't want to be a part of the Dark Mean Dude, or Big Bullies, the Big Bullies, but just Dark Friends.
It's a very cool band name.
and like
It'd be like a dark wave band too, like dark wave punk band.
a
like,
dark wave twee pop band.
Twee, yes.
Just staring at your shoes, just rocking, staring at your shoes.
Totally.
No, and it kind of goes to this one discussion I've been having in my mind about how much do I want this show when it comes out to be like grim and dark and I mean, a la, I don't want to just keep saying Game of Thrones, but do we want it to be as kind of graphic and realistic in a way as Game of Thrones is? I personally do.
I think it will be. I think it will be, and it'll be even more. I think it'll be like even more intense and more graphic, because Robert Jordan, I mean, his writing is so cinematic. Like they got an easy task before him. In my mind, it's like he just lays out the storyboard, like with his writing, and the imagery is like, I think it's going to be intense, more gritty, more bloody.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, we're dealing with a series that does not curse. They use terms like blood and bloody ashes, or burn me, or things like that. And there is no real I mean, spoiler wise, just there's no real like graphic sex at
Right.
all going on. So that, which is different than what Game of Thrones offers. Game of Thrones is
Wait.
quite the opposite, and so the show was more gritty.
Right.
I can't see this being more than PG-13, and maybe only for violence, but I don't really see them. Uh, I mean, there's allusions to certain sexual situations, but they don't show them on screen necessarily in the book. And I'd be surprised if they show them on screen in the show.
Oh man, you just spoiled it for me, Dan.
Well, I mean, so someone who looks like
I'm just
me
kidding.
does the dance of the yellow tie and goes na, 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 na,
Yeah.
na, 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 na. So that's sex and
I
that's
think,
sex and Ran
though-
then.
I look forward to
so
that.
We're getting feedback. We're gonna cut all this out of the show. That we're giving a lot of stuff away. Todd
Oh,
is playing
gosh.
it off. We got to be very careful about spoilers. And Todd's being the trooper. But yeah, so guys in the chat, thanks a lot. This is our first time, and we're just trying to be entertaining and also keep it going. And we're gonna be more mindful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
I didn't hear a thing. No.
I'm shameful puppet.
Oh, actually, no, it's controversial. We might not have been giving that much away. Who knows? It's back and forth. We'll be mindful though. We are being mindful. This is fun. I'm looking for questions. So I feel like we've done. We're kind of moving. Through
Yeah. Let's go to the next chapter. Let's go to chapter 7, Out of the Woods.
Okay, no, but real quickly,
Right.
one person wants us to really hone in on the moment on the baby, Todd.
Oh, yes. I mentioned it a little bit. I know I kind of like went into it and I kind of like just fell off a cliff with it, I think. But like, I think it's the huge reveal so far of the book. It's one of the major reveals of the book. To say that, you know, Tam is not Rand's father. And then he found him post battle with his mom dead from like some battle wound, apparently. And Rand, I guess, is or the baby is almost dead. Like it's blue because it's
Blue, for
cold,
sure, yeah.
and something about the blanket blowing away or something. I don't know. It's so major, and I can't wait to see if it's true.
Let me ask you a question. Did you pick up on that before Rand reacted and said, but he's my father? Did you pick up on what Tam was saying?
Oh yeah, as soon as he mentions hearing a baby cry or cries of a baby, he's like,
oh, nice.
It's just like as soon as I hear that, I'm like, it's Rand. Like, I love it. It's so awesome.
Can we confirm real quick, and this can actually go out to the chat? Do we actually see a dead mom? Not to be grim.
It's something.
Do we actually see it, or does he assume that that's what happened?
No. It's in the dream.
Yeah, Tam says that the women battle alongside the men.
See,
with this city,
and
and she was apparently, I think, like bloodied and like I can't remember the details. I'm going to go back to that and read that again for sure.
All right, so here, can I share this with you right now?
Please do.
Battles are always hot, even in the snow. Sweat heat, blood heat. Only death is cool. Slope of the mountains. Only place didn't stink of death. Had to get away from smell of it, sight of it. Heard a baby cry. Their women fight along the men sometimes, but why they let her come, I don't. Gave birth there alone before she died of her wounds. covering the child with her cloak, but the wind blown the cloak away. Child blew with the cold.
Yeah.
Should have been dead too, crying there, crying in the snow. I couldn't just leave a child. No children of our own. Always knew you wanted children. I knew you'd take it to heart, Kari. Yes, lass. Rand is a good name. A good name.
Heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there is a body, and it was covered in her cloak until a wind blew it away.
What do you think?
Which how does he know the wind blew it away? Like what?
Well,
Or he probably sees it.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good question though. Yeah.
It is like there's parts of it that are true. I don't know.
Okay, so any other questions, Ryan, before we go to chapter 7?
Nope. I think but I think these kind of, if anybody has any questions for chapter 7 in the chat, just slap them on there right now. If anybody has any questions, just kind of about our lives,
Anything.
How we feel about, no politics though. No politics.
Unless it's the election of Edmondsfield that's coming up, then we can probably talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
But chapter 7, oh gosh, it's local politics. I don't know, we get so tied up in federal stuff. It's the local politics that matters. It's your mayor, it's your comptroller, it's your
That's right.
Your head of sanitation.
Your head of sanitation.
Your thatch hut workers.
The thatch union is strong in the Two Rivers. It's a union of one.
It's union.
So chapter 7, Out of the Woods, is when they get into the village and they see that the village has been just equally tore up. So what are your thoughts as you read about Rand entering the village?
Well, first of all, I'm so saddened just to see Two Rivers just in ruins. It's like half the village, I guess, is charred, and this, I mean, Beltane's not happening. I take it, which is also sad, and
Right.
Yeah, it's painful. And he was so hopeful. He has his dying dad, and he's pulling on this like makeshift, thing he devised that's dragging. He's dragging his dad into the village, and it's just burnt, and all hope is lost for him.
Oh.
Right. It's called a litter, but it's pretty much just a one man stretcher.
A litter.
Yeah.
That's what stretcher. That's the word I was looking for. I totally blanked.
And while he's getting closer, he starts smelling what he thought was just chimney smoke, and he got a little hopeful, and his little pep in his step, and he's like, "Oh, we're getting there,
He's
we're
like,
getting there." And
come on, Dad, we're almost there. Come on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. It smells like burning Trolloc around here.
Yeah.
I know that smell anyway.
Let's wait. Todd, you're breaking up. Let's wait.
Poor Rand.
Hey, Todd, you broke up.
Can you hear me?
Todd, yeah, you broke up.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Check. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
All right. No, everyone. Okay, yeah, everyone in the chat's really feeling the loss of Beltane. We got some comments like no fireworks, no gleaming, no girls dancing on the poles.
No sheep shearing. No, the best at bowls, which
No
I'm not sure exactly what that is. No archery contest. No.
And Padden Fane, right? He's missing.
Padden Fane's gone. Yeah.
The peddler and his wagon is like left to the wheels, right, or something.
So yeah, here's my question: is so the wagon was burned up. Did he take the fireworks out, or for one brief moment during this crazy night, was it just oh,
Yeah.
and then they all run back. Did the fireworks launch at all that night, do you think? Or were they stored somewhere before they were destroyed?
These
Were there even
questions and
fireworks?
so much more.
Is that confirmed that there are even fireworks at all?
Yeah, that's what he was bringing.
I know, but we never saw the fireworks. I mean, it's just pointing
Uh,
that out. Did we?
no, I guess we didn't. And I was thinking fireworks have got to be really, really expensive to have a peddler just wagging them all the way down. That real estate within that wagon is kind of precious. And if you're bringing all these fireworks and stuff, that's he's gonna, there's shipping costs and all that. That's quite the investment.
Super big investment. Yeah.
All right, go on. Sorry. All right.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, all right. So he gets into the village. He sees Egwin and Nynaeve. Egwin is like, no. And Nynaeve looks at Tam and says, and kind of tucks him in like a little baby to make him comfortable, and says, Rand, there's nothing I can do to help.
Yes. So heartbreaking. I read that part and I was just like, no, the wisdom can't even do anything. Like,
and the details, right?
they're naive.
When she has to.
Oh yeah.
The way she has to break it to him, and then when he runs up and it's like, what, he's dying, and there's a moment where she cracks and he can see the motions, and then she has to resolve, move forward.
Right.
Well, and
wash your hands.
Well, the line that got me is when he's like, but I got here as fast as I can. And she's like, I know you did, buddy. I know.
I know.
And then that stiff upper lip, and she's like, "Oh, other people to help, but come on, Egwin."
Oh, yep. It's like, I know I can help other people. I can't help him. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like,
So she has a game face, but it seems like she's like, there is that like, that quivering lip kind of where she's like, not you too, Tam, but okay, I still need to help other people.
And
yes.
And the gravity of that moment, I want to take a second with this. Tam Outdoors, great, right? Everything about him, the amount of reassurance he offers to Rand, because we know Rand's thoughts, we see it work. Tam talks, Rand listens. Tam tells him to do the Flaming Void. Rand's doing the Flaming Void. It's so much of part of his life, and he seems to just be the most solid, amazing, hero man, and he is.
Yeah.
He's on death's door.
Yeah, like everybody in the village always comes to him, it seems. Even the mayor, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. And Rand walked for hours, not even on the road, dragging a litter through trees and stuff, hearing his dad just going, and just muttering this weird stuff, burning on fever, like not the convenient route, because there's scary people all along there. He's on taking like, right. He's like in the, thank you. He's into the woods, and his whole thought is like, oh God, I just need to get to Nynaeve. And Nynaeve looks at him and goes, ooh, sorry, buddy, I can't help, and kind of walks away. And Rand's like, no. What can I do? And yeah, so
and then very interestingly, what does it think to do?
Well, he goes to the mayor.
The mayor.
Yeah, he goes to the mayor.
The mayor will know what to do.
Well, you go to the man in power. It's like, well, Nynaeve said I can't do anything. He's like, well, can I talk to your manager?
Totally. Where's the next wisdom up?
Yeah.
Now.
He was like the Evansfield little Karen. He's like, I don't accept your authority. I'm gonna talk to someone. So yeah, he goes to his last resort, which is Bran Alvier.
Bran Alvier.
Yeah. And we learn, and then we see Moraine and Lan. And we do hear that there were people that died. So Nynaeve has had a rough night. Villagers have died. Rand, we assume, didn't see these people, but villagers died. And Nynaeve, as the wisdom, had to deal with these. So when she goes and she tucks Tam Althor, when she tucks Tam Althor in, this isn't the first person that she's had to tuck in like that this evening or that morning,
Yeah.
Yeah, and she is facing it. Everyone in Emmonsfield is facing it.
It's grim.
And it's grim, but yet you see, that kind of Two Rivers character. It's really powerful. The things that Rand notices. Rand is not just noticing the bad; he's still noticing the good, even though his dad is in peril.
Yeah, he sees the villagers all, soot-faced, digging through their piles, looking for cook pots. It's like, we got to cook a meal, and then we got to repair everything. They're moving on.
And then there's this one detail we hear when there's discussion about what did we think about the symbol, the dragon, the spot on the door, on the mayor's door.
Oh yeah, the dragon fang.
What do we think about that?
That is intriguing because they think that maybe the Coplans or Congers are up to that because they don't like the Sedai. They don't like the guests staying there. And they're very suspicious about the mayor.
But then what did Bran say?
What did he
in
say?
response? He goes, basically, he said, we wouldn't, we maybe basically, how would we be alive without them? How would we have gotten through it without these people?
Right. He pretty much said they were all drunk and full of honey cake.
Oh, that's right.
Right. And so, but what's I kind of noticed about this chapter is they don't really tell us what they did. Like, we don't know the details of what happened. We just know that they kind of helped in a big way, I think, right?
Yeah, so Moraine used some lightning bolt, which is so awesome. She summoned some lightning bolt from the sky that took out Trollocs.
Right, a ball lightning.
And then wait, what's his name? What's the warder? Lan? Yeah. He was like a master swordsman, twirling and in many places at once, apparently. People were blown away by that. So there's a lot of suspicion, I guess, still, though, even though they helped the Two Rivers people.
Yeah.
And I guess the Dragon Fang, they just still want to talk and rouse up rumors and, be divisive. I don't know.
Yeah. I love how we hear about the action through a third party.
Yes.
Right? I mean, how badly would you have loved to have seen that go down? But you hear from other people's perspective, which is so cool.
Very cool. Awesome imagery. I guess also we got to bring up the the mayor, and then Tom Maryland is in the room with Rand.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor is oh man, so you already got Nynaeve. And Tom's all pissed off at him. He's like, wait, you didn't tell me that you already went to Nynaeve. She almost took off my head. Right. He comes back. And after the mayor hears that, he's like, oh, wow. Okay. So he gets that look that Naive had, I guess. And then Bran is devastated again with the hope that the mayor will help Tam.
Right. So
that's a heavy moment too.
So he pretty much ends. The chapter by saying, "Come help my dad. I'll pay anything."
Wait, we first should mention though.
Oh,
that I think it's the mayor. Doesn't he suggest that he goes to the Sade or to Moraine? Mm-hmm. And then that's where Bran learns that Moraine is an Aes Sedai.
Correct.
Which is awesome. Like, so heavy. Like, and Rand's kind of blown away, I think, by that.
Right. He learns when he was saying, yeah, she was throwing lightning out of the sky, and she's Aes Sedai, and he's her warder. And so then it takes a couple minutes, and Bran Alvere's like, duh, you can sell your soul if you want, or whatever, who knows what they want, but
right.
So
then they go on to what you were just saying, I guess.
Correct. Yeah. So he does pretty much offer her pretty much any payment to see if she can help. And she says, yeah, let me see what I can do. I mean, so any thoughts about that interaction at all?
Well, real quick, actually, Dana Leo wants to clarify, why do you think Rand is shocked that Moraine is an Aes Sedai?
Because okay, this is really interesting. I picked up on this, and I was thinking about it. And he talks about how he thought Lady Moraine was like this graceful, like beautiful, like city woman, just kind of bourgeois, like some bougie woman from the city. Like, and he's like, how can she be a Aes Sedai? Because he's heard all the stories about the Aes Sedai and how they're you don't know their intentions. They're dangerous. They might have broken the world. So he has like a lot of ideas about Aes Sedais being bad, I guess. And he's like kind of taken aback. How can this nice lady, that's so well dressed and so like keeps herself up so beautifully, and how could she be an Aes Sedai? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah,
But let's keep in mind that the two men there, his dad's sitting there actively dying in the inn, and Bran Alvere and Tom Maryland are like, well, you don't want to get involved with them Aes Sedai. It's tricky stuff.
He's like, I didn't even want to bring it up.
Right. So they're both a little hesitant to say, like, but I mean, what do you got to lose? I mean, you want him to live, right? Go talk to her. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And offers up, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. Just come.
Right. So that's why I think, he was taken aback.
Right. The last two people who talked to him were kind of like, ooh, well, if you really got it, she's over there burning Trollocs.
Right. With the Beltane fire.
Right. So what a waste.
All right, we got some more questions from the chat.
All right.
Bring them.
MK Janest, she asks, Ryan, how long did it take you to grow that stash?
This morning. You shaved it this morning, right? It just always happens.
That's like his 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Well, the real question is, I don't know if anyone really notices, how long did it take me to grow my chest hair? Look at that. Look at that.
That's at least 2 days worth, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
ladies and gentlemen,
it's
look
so
at that.
soft.
And in betweeners, please. Look at that. Gosh, I gotta stop not moving my mouth when I talk. Okay, we have more.
You must move your mouth.
We have more questions in the chat. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
This is
Coming.
awesome.
I'm really gonna read any question you ask. So
Bring it on.
as long as it's a PG, I will read it. All right. So here's another question. This is a great question from Tree Hugger.
Hey.
Do you think Tom knew she was an Aes Sedai when he first saw her?
Yeah, there's a moment back in the Gleeman chapter where he was telling a story. He was spinning his tails and juggling his balls, and he was like feeling it. And then he sees her. I know.
Sorry. No. I'm 12. I'm
When
a
I said
12-year-old.
that-
I'm a 12-year-old. Go ahead. It's just giggle.
Yeah, so he's having his moment, and he's feeling it, and my God. I can't get away from the innuendo. I'm sorry. But,
All right.
But yeah, there is a moment.
Go.
Yeah,
All right,
so
all
he's
right.
having a moment with this song and dance, telling the tales, and he sees her. He sees Moraine, and kind of like just stops, and all of his whole like tone kind of stops. And he's kind of like gazing at her, right? Like, oh, I know who you are. Like, so I think he does know. He knows exactly who she is.
It does seem in
And-
this chapter that he's kind of helping guide Rand towards like, whoa, why is that dragon thing on the door?
right.
And then Brand's like, oh, right, I got these. Oh, I got an Aes Sedai in my house. Oh, they heal people. And Tom's like, you don't say. Well,
Yeah.
knuckling his eye mustaches.
Wiping the sweat from his eyelashes. Yeah. His eyebrows.
So, yeah.
So I
All
think
right,
he
so
knows.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of talk about Tom's balls. We really started something. I mean,
Oh no.
everyone should be ashamed of themselves. I'm looking at you right now. All
No, bring him. Keep bringing him.
I set that one up. So
Yeah.
I walked right into that one.
I just want everyone to know when your high school principal goes home and takes that tie off, boom. when he's getting his shot of whiskey from being frustrated from you kids, boom. Look at that.
That's what, it looks
That's
like
what the
right
tie
there.
does. It hides the bulge from the chest hair. You have to wear the tie to make sure that you're just not seeing this huge chest hair bulge.
There you go.
Theory.
There are some that, I think there's probably some that have a disgusting amount of chest hair that explode out as soon as they take off their tie. I've never experienced that myself. I don't know if I'm blessed or cursed, but good luck with your daily chest hair explosions. I'm picturing like when you spray like that foam cock into a windowsill, and you
Wait.
just spray it, and then it goes,
Okay.
and then suddenly just like foams out and it expands. That's how I picture Ryan's chest hair to be. Look,
Here's a side view.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna lick it.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2.
No, this is all staying, buddy.
Golden.
All right. Okay.
Like my
so-
tie. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So yeah, Tom
You got some more
knows
questions?
she's a Sedai. Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, go. And go. What were you saying?
So yeah, Tom does know that she's an Aes
I
Sedai.
think he totally knows who she is, and I bet you they met before.
Oh,
They've
okay.
been, they've been in battle.
oh.
I bet you they've been in battles and like,
Well, keep going with that. What are you talking about?
yeah, I don't know. It's just a hunch, I guess. Just the way, yeah, he was just when he was telling his stories to the kids and everybody, he just stopped and he was like,
Something happened. Yeah.
something
There's a
happened.
gravity there. There's definitely a gravity to that scene for sure.
There's a
Yes.
history,
You
a romantic interest, possibly.
you awesome
Art.
reader, you.
Oh, so Todd just said that there might be a romantic interest between Tom and Maureen. Wow, that's right. Wait,
And the
I wanna
warder,
clarify.
the
Were you
warder
saying
is like,
Tom and Lan or
and
Tom and
Lan
Maureen?
and Lan's kind of what's Lan doing then?
he's the third wheel, man.
Oh, he's friend zoned. He's like just.
Oh,
I
maybe,
love her.
maybe girls would notice me more if my cloak wouldn't hide me so well.
I, I don't know
Oh,
why they
man.
don't see why women don't notice me.
We're just, yeah. We're just digressing. We're devolving at this point.
No, this is great. This is what it's all about. This is just basically fodder for improv. I love it.
Yes.
It's
All
just
right, so-
yeah. It's like Red, plumber, and step cousin. Go.
My cousin is a red plumber.
Yes, and I am a blue plumber.
Oh. Well, let's turn this off. I don't deal with blue plumbers.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
All right, so more questions.
Okay, let's get
These are
back
very
together.
great questions.
Red or blue, guys? Red or blue?
We're not
I'm
picking
just saying.
sides.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, Dana Lou would like to know, why does
Please.
Maureen ask Rand about his dreams?
That's a great question.
Ooh.
Super interesting.
Gosh,
Just-
Dana, you're killing it. These questions are all awesome. All awesome. Thank you.
I mean, it's so awesome. Just the fact that I guess Aes Sedai's can control your dreams or help you with them. I don't know, like a dream psychologist. Like, it's awesome. I love it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess this is a thing she does. And she's she's alluding to how the Mydral, she probably knows or senses like the Mydral's trying to get into his mind or the Dark One or something. I bet you.
Oh, okay. So you think that she has a kind of benevolent intent or malevolent intent?
That remains to be seen. That's what's
Pick a
so
side.
interesting.
What do you
It's
think? What's
I
your,
don't
what's your
know.
prediction?
well from just the way, from what I've heard of Aes Sedai, is they're very what is it? You don't know their intentions, and people get their intentions all mixed up. Just like I think Brand or who said that? Oh no, Thom Maryland says this. Aes Sedai do what they do for reasons of their own, and they aren't always the reasons others think. Like, so
Yep.
he laid down some knowledge that their intentions aren't, they're just mysterious, and they're very self-serving apparently. So I don't know if it's malevolent or good. I just don't know. At this point.
So what do you think of the fact that Moraine was calling down lightning? I mean, is that what is your gut reaction to the fact that this woman may have powers over the elements or whatever?
Just complete awesomeness. That's my reaction. Like,
Nice.
she has these just cosmic powers. She could wield, lightning, and she could, help you with your dreams and maybe control your dreams, which is also a scary thought too. And
right. And that goes to Ryan's benevolent versus malevolent
yes.
question. But just to her powers themselves, what do you think her limit is as far as her powers?
Damn good question, man. I don't know what's the limit of her powers? I have no idea. I guess.
I mean, just a rough ceiling. I mean, do you think that she could?
I think it's finite. There's definitely a ceiling, I guess, that
So she's not a god.
she could just wield. I think I was looking back in the glossary about this.
You're allowed.
She's able to dang it, what is it? You know, that she's able to just wield the powers of the one, apparently.
The
Or
one
I
power.
said
Yeah.
yeah. Or somehow harness them. But the word harness, you know, is like limited to. So yeah, she has limited powers.
What do you think?
Or limits to her powers. I'm sorry.
Nice. No, good answer. Very good answer.
Yeah, and it's this might be related. We don't know, but what do we think an angrial is?
That's the word I was looking for.
Okay, angrial.
Yes, I was gonna look it up in the glossary. So that's like an ancient or something from the ancient world. It's like an artifact from the ancient world that has like powers, apparently, that can channel the one, or I don't know.
God damn, you're so good, Todd. This is so fun. This is so fun.
This is
I love this stuff, man. I'm eating it up, dude.
Oh man.
We got some good. This is a really great one. We were talking about land being the third wheel. We got land as the third wheel of time. That's a good one. Dana Lou wants to know if you have any predictions now that we know this much now. It seems like every chapter is just, again, exponential growth and potential and mystery. So go. Like, what predictions do you have now?
Well, now I'm hopeful for Tam Althor. I think, you know, she's going to help him, and that's awesome. If he comes back into the picture, you know, and I don't know what to say. I can't wait to see what happens.
And that's a very fair question. That's a very fair answer to say I don't know.
I mean, Moraine, the Sedai is going to definitely, I think, help him, and they're going to be on some adventure. I would say they're going to be together doing something awesome. That's my prediction.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Is it no? Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, something.
No. There's plenty to talk about.
Something with.
We also don't. Dana Liu also has. We have a standing request from Dana that we're gonna look into each chapter and find kind of your favorite moment and then a favorite quote.
Let's see. Definitely for this one, it has to be. Oh, the moment where you know, Rand goes to ask, you know, the Aes Sedai to help him. And he's like super nervous now. He's like, oh my gosh, you know, Lady Moraine's a Sedai and lands her warder, and he sees these Trollocs burning, and then when he comes up to him, they don't know he's there. This is my favorite scene. And you know, Lan and Moraine are just talking, and I guess Lan finds a seventh band. It's a Cobalt. On the Trolloc.
Yep.
And he's like, they're like, Cobalt. Great. This is the seventh band. Oh man, we haven't seen this since the Trolloc Wars, or this many bands of Trollocs together, I guess. Like that was like so awesome.
That's
I think.
And that leads me to this question. Dana Liu asked, we have 7 bands of Trollocs, literally. Why do we have this coming to a defenseless village along with the Murdral? Why do we think this is happening?
Because there's something there that they want. Yeah, they know, like, you know, one of these Two River folks is powerful, and the Dark One, I guess, apparently is he knows it. And he's afraid, and he wants to like wipe him out, I guess. I don't know. That's my just off the top of my head. Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. Yep.
So in your opinion, the Trollocs are not there at all for Tam Althor's limited reserve apple brandy?
Possibly.
Okay.
Maybe that's what the dark ones are, or the my draw. Yeah.
It was
It's just
literally
known.
the minute that honey cakes
It
come out
is
of the
known.
oven.
Tamil Thor. Tamil Thor's, yeah.
Tamil Thor. That's it.
Tamil
That's
Thor.
what. Tamil Thor. I think that's so funny. Every time I say his name, it like every time I read his name now, I think Tamil Thor.
Tamil Thor. Great guy.
It's great.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah. All right. What else, Ryan? Any other questions that we can address?
I think we've exhausted them.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I think I am done as well. Although the Lan is a pretty nihilistic dude here.
Oh my goodness. We get a good
right.
Lannerism.
Death comes sooner or later to everyone. Bah!
No, speaking of third wheel, I think I like
Just
to
like-
imagine Tam walking into a bar, and that's kind of like he saddles up, and no one can see him because of his cloak, and he's like, "Oh man!" And
Lan?
then land, and he goes
Yeah.
up, and he gets to the lady, and he's like, "Death is lighter than a feather. Responsibility is harder than a stone."
Like
It finds you. Death.
no, Ryan. And realistically, he's like, he goes in. Maureen's like, "Can you go get us 2 drinks?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just waited at the bar for like 15 minutes, and they didn't even acknowledge me." And she's like, "You got the cloak on, dummy." And he's like, "Oh Jesus, they didn't even see me."
Ah,
And he takes off the cloak, and they're like, "Oh, hey, sir, can I help you?"
totally. Tall, dark, and handsome man.
Yeah. With like
Lan seems like he seems like a handsome fellow, right?
Lan.
The way he's described, right? He's like a
Oh
tall
yeah.
dude.
Oh man, I imagine we had him as Mel Gibson, but we had him as a less racist Mel Gibson.
Oh,
A
that's
younger-
Tam
a younger-
Althor?
That was Tam.
Althor?
Shoot, no,
That
Tam was
Althor.
the less racist. I'm not saying the non-racist. I'm just saying less racist.
No,
a younger-
I would say that Lan is kind of like a more
He's like a Mad Max Mel Gibson, right?
like yeah, or like a little older Jason Momoa type, like just has a like The Rock with hair though, with and that sort of thing, like huge.
he's a
like-
big dude.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with him. And
Right.
he's walking around with his hand on his sword like all the time.
all the
All
time.
the time.
That's just his thing.
Love
Does he
it.
sleep like that? You think?
Totally.
Oh, actually, before we leave, Todd, I want you to tell us what song we are listening to, and as we are outroing,
yes.
I want you to ask us the question you had us on text about what they're doing with the Trolloc bodies.
All right. So the song playing now is Patterns in the Sun by the band that I'm in. It looks like a black hole.
Awesome.
And
Are you sure this isn't the Beatles? Because this is so catchy. All right, go on. I'm sorry.
and oh yeah, the text. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, do Two River folks burn Trollocs in the Beltane fire?
Yep.
Yes, they do.
And then what? And then what is it? What do you call that? Then it can't really be a Beltane fire when you're doing the Trolloc.
Beltane crematorium.
Yep.
I mean, how many?
Beltane barbecue.
So they said that there
Trolloc
was.
time.
Oh yeah, Trolloc barbecue.
So they say that there's 7 bands. They say that there was probably 100 Trollocs in the district. I'm not exactly sure what that means. It probably includes like Tam Althor's his farm out there, but I don't know if that means like the whole 2 rivers per se. But so there was 100 Trollocs. There was how many are they burning? Are they burning 100, or did some run away? And I'm sure some ran
there's-
away, but
Yeah.
I mean, how many corpses do you think we have here?
Yeah, I was
Tons.
gonna ask how many Trollocs. I mean, how many humans do we know? We know of what, 3, or I mean, Nynaeve said something about losing 3. Or am I remembering that correctly?
I think the mayor or Tom Maryland said the couple died, but not a lot less than should have.
Which is
Right.
crazy, right?
So crazy.
What do you
Yeah.
attribute? Yeah, okay. Well, I have some theories about that, but that's all spoiler stuff, so we won't get into it.
No spoilers for you, man. No spoilers for you.
All right, well,
I'm a
we've been having a
babe in the
great time.
woods. I'm a babe in the woods.
This is so much fun. We're going to keep doing this as a live stream format. It's not going to necessarily be on this day. When we find out the perfect day that fits for everyone's schedule, we'll announce it. We'll try and keep it a regular thing. I hope everyone's
Thank you,
had a great
Todd.
time.
Gosh darn it, Todd, you're awesome. And thank you, everyone who was watching us and
My pleasure.
participating. These questions were fantastic. And I think this is fun interaction. And, I'm a puppet. I don't get to go outside.
Wait,
this is
you're a
what?
puppet? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Didn't
No,
you
I
see
mean-
my tie?
Dude, I thought you guys were real.
No, yeah, just let's be
I'm a real
Wait.
puppet.
let's be sincere, guys. I'm very limited in a lot of ways, clearly, and I'm a puppet, so I need your help. All this interaction is really helping our show grow.
Super, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Super awesome. Thank you. Awesome questions.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so we're dancing. Get that book up. We're dancing.
So, hey, Todd, we'll see you next time it'll begin at chapter 8, A Place of
Yes.
Safety.
And then
Awesome.
8 and 9.
Thank
you,
you, Todd.
boys.
Will be
Mwah,
8
mwah,
and
mwah, mwah,
9.
mwah, mwah. I'm going to eat your face. I love you so much. You're the best.
All right, now everyone. Typically, this is when we start doing glamour shots. We start posing in a. Everyone's. Oh yeah, pensive. Okay, thoughtful.
Yes.
Flexible.
Beer drinking.
Oh man, that was so much fun, guys. Thank you so much. We got so many good positive feedbacks. Todd, I'm gonna go through this and let you know.
Yeah,
what is
Todd and I
saved.
couldn't see any of these comments. So if the fact that he and I didn't respond personally, we didn't see him. So Ryan was feeding
Nothing.
us.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Didn't
Yep.
see a thing. That was super fun. That was super cool.
So are you free to get on? I don't know what's going on. I don't know if people want to get on Discord, but I'm free to get on there. I just need to take a little break and then I'll be on Discord.
Yeah, I gotta go say hello to
our friends.
Awesome. All right. Thank
my
you,
friends
everyone.
out.
Thank you, everyone. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love you. I love you. Kiss, 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 kiss. Todd, well done, my man.
Awesome.
Really well done.
Dude, awesome job, you guys.